Hello, YouTube. We are back with some match commentary. We are bringing you the last of our EX-5 locals. This was filmed over at Sully's Abode, which is a card shop that we go to every Thursday at 6 p.m. over in Bolingbrook. So if you're in the Illinois area or Chicagoland area, feel free to check them out. Great shop that has a lot of card games, a lot of locals that fire off. So we'll link their TCG player in our video description below. I'm joined here by Arby, special guest. Filling in for TJ, who's off in Japan. So
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm TJ.
But yeah, Arby will probably be joining me for at least the entirety, if not at least the first half of this locals here. So thanks for joining, man. Appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks for having me. Can't wait to see me lose. So
but yeah, we have a pretty good set of locals today. We just got back from it, and I think we're sort of at the end of EX-5, and everybody's sort of like itching to get on to BT15. So there are a lot of for funsies decks, and people were kind of bringing out some random stuff. I know Anthony and I brought out some fun stuff, and there were some neat picks floating around. So it should be a good set of videos for you guys.
There's definitely your spicy deck list, and there's definitely just the meta decks.
Yeah.
And you'll see that pretty soon.
But in this particular set, we've got our fan favorite here, Jose, going up against Stack. Jose is piloting his beloved Armors deck, and we've got Stack here playing like a Belphemon Leviamon mix, which he's been having fun with. So it should be a good one. Please do feel free to check out our socials before we hop into the match. We'll have a link tree down in the video description down below, which will contain the links to our Instagram, our Twitter account, our Discord, our TCG player affiliate, as well as our YouTube membership. Of all those links, the Discord is probably the one we're going to stress the most, just because that's where a lot of our interactions with the community will happen. We've had a lot of fun deck building, deck crafting discussions going on in there, so feel free to check it out, hop in, and join in on the banter.
Yeah, and I know people have been discussing the new cards that have been revealed for EX6, which looks absolutely bonkers. So
yeah, we've had a lot of neat cards being revealed lately, so a lot of fun discussion going on there. But without further ado, let's hop right into the round over here.
All right.
So I'm interested to see what Stack is cooking with this Levia Belphe. In theory, it makes sense.
Yeah. I think he's been doing okay with it because they're both great demon lords.
Yeah.
So.
And Jose is going with his sort of all reliable with armors.
Yeah.
But interesting tidbit for you guys to look forward to. We are going to be doing an in-person deck profile with Jose. So he's going to kind of give us his breakdown of his ratios, talk about his card choices and whatnot next week after locals. So we'll probably get that out late next week over the weekend. So for those of you who are interested to see how he's running and piloting the deck, look forward to that video.
His armor deck is scary, man.
It is.
It is frightening to play every time. But I'm always scared of security bombs. And I'm always hitting security bombs.
Yeah.
So we see Stack just hatch into a Fasco and then play purple memory boost. Solid first turn.
Jose also has a pretty solid first turn going with the Leviamon and Davis Cannon back.
Leviamon to Davis Cannon. Classic.
We see Stack going to the Guru to draw one, pitch one. Pitching a Rage mode, which is what you want to see as a Belphe player. Then goes into Asta for 3. Interesting.
Which is, with nothing to sacrifice, that's a big ask.
It is. Oof. And we see a Heavens, which just goes ahead and pops the Asta.
Yeah, Jose, that's a big Jose's game. If you put something out there for him to pop with that, he's gonna pop it. And an Asta threatening to go into Belphe into rage mode, you better be.
But we see Stack kind of build in. He goes into, I believe it's the Octomon in the back, and then uses a Biting Crush to pop Jose's Stack, which he responds to with a lot of gas. Double Davis and Ken set up with a Leviamon in the back.
Oh my god, starting
which is
with
real
5
scary.
Memory. Yeah. Starting with 5 memory.
And it draws. Okay, it does die, so keeps the Leviamon on board, which is almost what you want to see. Goes into Magna, restands, swings again.
And then here you're usually hoping for it to die again. Usually going to the Magna.
Or he can just go into that.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh. Okay.
Oh, Golden
Fair.
Knight into Magna. Okay.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
you can. Yeah, you can
do
turn.
that.
Yeah, you can turn a Magnamon into a Magnamon. It has to just have Magnamon in name.
Or he goes
Swing
ahead
in
and
for,
swings, has a purge, and if he's got the big boy, I mean, this should be a good time. But I don't know if he has the big boy.
It doesn't look like he has the Magna X.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, just decides to go with. Oh,
but picks up the Leviamon. Okay.
okay.
Okay. I mean, with the double Davis and Ken, I guess that also makes sense too. Like, if
Yeah.
Stag can't deal with the board, which he really
Stag-
can't.
Yeah, Stack going into another Asta without Belphie, so he deletes both.
But we can use the Armor Purge to... Yeah, to keep the Vmon. I think there's just a clarification, because it does target the lowest and the highest.
Yeah, so
it would target the Vmon. Oh, I see. Pops them. Okay, yeah, pops it and then pops it again, because it is technically like the lowest level. Fair enough.
the highest for okay.
I guess you can sequence it. Correct us if we're wrong.
I don't know if that one's actually correct, but we'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Just because if it's an effect that's happening at the same time, it wouldn't recognize
Right.
the Armor Purge until after.
Oh my lord.
Oh, that Leviathan.
Double
God.
heavens. If there is a man out there who's like consistent with his heavens judgments, it's
Yeah,
Jose. Like that man always has a heavens. It's crazy.
Yeah, that minus 18k to the Leviamon. Yeah.
Jeez.
Ruling clarification. Oh, yeah, dang.
And then unfortunately here it doesn't look like Stack. Okay, he does have a rookie, which is good. Able to hard play the Octo, which allows him to play out or forces Jose technically to play out a token.
Yeah, and then he can
effect, and then he can Biting Crush.
Yeah, and then he can use the delay on Biting Crush to pop the highest and the lowest. So the token.
The token should be gone, right?
I'm not actually sure what level the token is. I don't remember. Is it a level 4?
I think it's a level 4, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it's a level 4, so it should pop both. The highest and the lowest, if there's only 2, it'll target both.
Okay. But we do see Jose promote, gaining 2 memory because of the 2 Davis and Kens here. If he's had the right pieces, he could go for it. I think it just depends on what he has, but he does goes and swings. Swings, hits the Levia, which will force. Oh, okay.
Oh, and then he just has the Magna to go for game.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Now, okay, because the Levia is a once per turn, so Stack doesn't
Yeah.
continue. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty handed game one on Jose's part. Just low to the ground, efficient, and too fast.
Having the removal, like, keeping the removal in hand for answering Levia or any other big threats, that's pretty huge too.
Yeah. And I'm interested what you think about this too. Like, I think BT9, BT10, we saw a lot of like stacks which didn't die, right? Like Wargrade didn't die against effects, Melga didn't die against battle, all that good stuff. And then now I feel like as the metas have developed, like with like 14, 15, EX-5 even too, like not a lot of protection. So like, yeah, we're building into these like big scary bodies, like for example, like Levia, right? Like you can climb up into a Levia. It's really nasty if it sticks, but like if you have the right removal card, like bye-bye,
Exactly.
Which I kind of enjoy because it makes the game a little bit more interactive as opposed to just like, I have big stack, I win.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we saw. As somebody who plays a lot of Guru, I think X antibody strategies are a mistake.
What do you mean?
Yeah. What do you mean I get to check for everything in one turn? While being extremely memory efficient.
But we see Jose unfortunately doesn't see a VMon. Oh my, this is probably the worst starting hand I've seen Jose have. Just has to play out 2 Leviamons, which allows Stack to just build in the back. It sounds like he's starting to miss his pieces now too.
Yeah, it looks like he's missing his 6s, and he doesn't... Oh, Awakening of the Golden Knight? That might help Jose, depending on what he gets.
Plays out a Fasco for 3.
Yeah, just having a solid blocker. Fine.
So we do see the Awakening come out. Goes into the BT-13 Magna, just a pass turn.
Yeah, choke him at 1.
That's interesting. I never really thought of Awakening outside of like going into Magna X. I totally forgot you could just literally go into any Magnamon in name.
Yeah, as long as I believe the card has armor in its traits, you can go into anything with Magnamon in name for a 3 cost. So it lets you warp from 4 to 6.
Yeah.
In a kind of crazy way.
Okay, so we see Jose swing, and then Stack just blocks, and then plays out a Davis and Ken. Bad. Because I think we see that Stack is still missing pieces here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, like... Levia, I feel like can do that to you. Like, it's almost like you gotta go into like your stack and do your thing and like find your pieces, and if you don't, you're just sort of like, it doesn't really do much else, I feel like.
Yeah, it can be kind of tough. But that's, you know, any deck that doesn't run like a crazy amount of 6s or has to run 6s that require specific things, especially the Belphe, it's a little hard to play, especially when you're not cycling like crazy. Like usually purple has a lot of tools.
Oh my.
Going into another minus 18k to the board.
Board wipe, jeez.
Yeah, the fact that you can target separate Digimon with that effect is insane. Like it lets you lets you clear wide boards sometimes, and like lets you clear a big stack if you need to.
Stack does decide to use that memory though, and builds up into a level 5 in the back into the Dragomon. The
Speaking
boost, that's a... Oh man, I feel like that's almost like a little rough for what Stack is trying to do here. You kind of don't want your Biting Crushes at the bottom of your deck.
Yep. That's three of them.
Yeah, but he is set up pretty nicely though with a couple trainings and a boost. Jose swings into a Rage mode, which unfortunately just dies.
Yeah, and then he can play a Vmon from hand or sources.
Oh, just decides to hard play a Magna. Okay.
Can hard play the Magna.
So Stack promotes, cracks the boost to go up to 5 memory, then cracks the training to go to a Levia, which will target the Magna. Hopping.
And then he'll gain a memory, and then Jose can...
Swing for 2 checks. Levia lives. The Stack, outside of some early removal, is in a pretty decent spot now. Decides to play out the Raremon, which allows him to pitch 1 and draw 2. And then...
Very solid card.
I had no idea that guy was like $30. Crazy. Oh my god, Megadeth.
Yeah, the Megadeth. The removal.
The removal of this deck is actually insane.
Jose, I think there's a game where Jose and I went to tie because I just kept hitting his security. He keeps this is interesting. Stack keeps playing
We're going into the Asta Digivolve.
Yeah, Asta without anything to pop. So he's not...
Oh my god, the Giga Death.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Oh man. I wonder why he's not utilizing the Belphe.
Yeah.
Because I thought it looked like he had one in hand.
Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. But you're right. I feel like the Rage mode was in there pretty early. So there definitely could be times where you just slam that bad boy down.
Or at least evolve into it for protection.
Mm-hmm.
But
And I feel like Belphe too, like you sometimes you don't care giving your opponent memory because like what it does is just so good. You know, pop level 5s or below, swing for multiple checks. Like I feel like Stack here could also just swing, no? Swing with rage modes, pop, restand, swing again.
okay. He's swinging with the Guru first. Interesting.
Yeah.
I pop with that.
Oh!
Oh,
Oh no!
Yeah.
The
So
pain. He can't restand. Freaking Heaven's Judgment.
Punished for his hubris.
Does go into a sleep mode.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I still think Stack is in a pretty good position because Jose doesn't have a rookie, like all that, but like...
Yeah, and his Belphemon is untargetable. He doesn't have
Mhm.
blockers on board. Even if he puts down a Magnamon blocker, it will get
Rage
the
mode's just gonna kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, lucky though. I mean, like, because Stack, technically, I guess, I mean, Heaven's Judgment would have stopped him either way, but
Yeah.
being able to, I probably would have swung, popped, restand, and swung again.
Yeah.
But he still takes it, so we do see a game 3. But yeah, I'm kind of interested in this because I feel like, in theory, the Levia Belphe, like, it makes sense. It sounds great, but I feel like also too, like, sometimes we're seeing with Stack, like, it can get clunky. Like, your hands can feel like they gum up a little bit, either with like you're caught in between two worlds almost. I feel like
It's an interesting build, and it looks like he's not utilizing the old Belphemon support, which was the Leviamons.
yeah.
But those were pretty bricky. Like, you couldn't, if the Gizamons were stuck in your hand and you didn't have the right levels, you couldn't like properly go into them.
Oh shit! Jose took the jacket off. Shit's getting real.
Oh, that means he's winning this one, right? He did the anime protagonist move.
The pro tag move. Oh yeah, but I agree though. I feel like in a deck that sometimes will struggle for consistency, throwing out the Gizmon stuff to just like kind of muck your hands up even more, I feel like it's just I think not a good recipe.
But it was a way to keep your hand low, for Belphe to get the security checks and like plus 3 KDP, I think. Oh, he just hard
Played an Octo.
Wow. All right.
So we go into Lydra to suspend the Octo. Both are sitting at 5k, so like I guess he could trade just to get rid of the body, but
Yeah.
he's got options.
Yeah.
Pro tag's got options.
True.
Plot armor.
The plot armor. The armor.
Literally. Decides to trade. So armor purges.
They just get the body off board because he knows he can win like a war of attrition. With his pieces.
We see him go into a BT13 Magna just to choke to 1, which does stop Stack from doing a whole lot. So Stack decides to go into Drago in the back.
Yeah, he's just forced to use the Drago on the back, which means that Jose doesn't get like the permanently tapped token.
Swings, lives, then goes into the Magna X using Awakening. Still at 0, so can still do a little bit of something here.
I think he's got a Davison can. I wonder if he's going to do that or just evolve in the back.
Yeah.
Guarantee himself a little
That's
bit more
fair.
memory. Yeah. So just does that, so he's not pressured to do anything. He can swing with the Vmon that has jamming, which that thing freaking kills me. Like the Vmon swings for like 4 checks against me regularly. I'm like, I can't get rid of him. He's just there.
He's just surviving.
Yeah.
We see Stack go into the Levia, which targets the Magna X, and then Jose decides to purge. So interesting that I feel like they kind of sequenced it a little differently here, right? Because like technically, like you target highest and lowest. So like this time they did it simultaneously, right?
Yeah.
Or no? Because like
no,
theory, you could pop it twice, no? Because you would pop the Magna and then be able to, in
Well,
theory,
it-
pop the the Magna X and then pop the Magna, no?
I think the token was still on his field, and I'm not sure
Oh, I see.
why it's staying there. Like it should have been on his field from the previous turn. But there's unfortunately no indicator. Well, so,
It's just
I don't
sitting there.
know. Yeah, I don't know what's happening there.
We see another Timely Heavens comes out. Stack again going into the Asta in the back.
Yeah, I'll stand back.
Decides to swing with this Jamming V, which lives. Swings with Magna.
I'm telling you, that jamming V works for him.
That guy is a menace.
Yeah, his jamming V is like, oh yeah, I just live everything.
So when TJ was talking about choice restriction, I think we should do a jamming V restrict to 1 on Jose
Yeah.
and nobody else.
True.
Magna. Oh god.
Yeah, I think
Restand, swing.
It's just to get rid of his last checks.
Biting Crush. Okay.
Fighting Crush, so he discards the
You should discard 1.
he discards, it looks like a Belphe to get rid of the Magna, and then Jose chooses to play
Out of Vemon.
Leviamon. And then
Oh.
I think a little bit of a mistake here. So Biting Crush has delay on it, which means that your turn needs to resolve before that you can activate it again. But he dies anyway.
He dies anyway. But yes, because that is something that has come up in a couple of our videos already, where the timing of it is important. So like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like thought of like as a boost, right? So like if you play it that turn or it comes into play that turn, like you can't proc the delay effect until your turn has resolved, and then you can proc it.
Yeah.
So there is like a
I
window
believe
of time where you can still do stuff.
I believe it's just a turn has to resolve, like somebody has to hit end of turn, and then it can be procced.
Right.
But I could be wrong. It could be that a full turn resolution for the person who played it needs to resolve.
Yeah.
In which case, like if you play Magic, you basically wait until your upkeep to resolve.
But yeah, that does do it for the round. Jose does end up taking it, so another good showcase of his armor stack. But good showing by Stack too. I mean, the Levia build is gonna be very viable moving forward, and it's definitely gonna be a staple in the next couple of metas. So definitely gonna be cooking with it, I'm sure. Stack.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate matchup, but I think Jose played it well, and like Stack did what he could. He just got rushed by that
the jamming Vemon. The soon to be limited jamming Vemon.
Yeah.
No,
for Jose.
but for Jose. But speaking of Jose and his armors, like I said earlier on in the video, we will be recording our second in-person deck profile, which he will be providing. So for those of you loving his deck profile or his deck and watching his match play, be on the lookout for that. Check out our socials, which are in the link tree down below. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We always do appreciate the support. For those who are new and haven't subscribed yet, hopefully this video was enough to convince y'all to continue checking us out and subscribing to us. So if you haven't, please do hit the like and subscribe button down below. And for those of you who are waiting for it, we'll catch you on the flippy flip.
Yeah.
Bye.